Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Money Mondays. I am Belinda Ray, the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG.
And I'm Paul Johnson, the Economic Development Director here at GPCOG.
And we're here for Money Mondays to present resources and funding opportunities to our members and community partners. If you have any questions, please jot them, type them into the Q&A, and we'll get to them afterwards, or you can contact us afterwards, and we'll get to them then. Okay, we are ready to get going. So I will share the screen and let Paul take it away.
Okay, thanks, Belinda. Today I am going to talk about the Amplify Fund. And the Amplify Fund is an initiative from M&T Bank. And essentially it is in the, perfect. It's in the request for proposals. It's in the request for proposal phase. It's from the M&T Charitable Foundation. It is up to 3 years of funding. It is anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000 per year. And the organizations must be a 501c3 public charity. So I know municipalities don't necessarily fit 501c3. I would encourage you to go at the link that I provide. I'd go encourage you to look at the RFP and perhaps send some follow-up questions, because the list of disallowed entities does not include 501c6s or municipalities. It includes schools are not allowed, but there are a few that are left off of the disallowed activity. So it might be worth following up to see if there's any flexibility for the 501c3 designation. Or if you have a 501c3 in town that does community work, this might be your opportunity to take this information and forward it along to them. Next slide, please, Belinda. Really, this is a pretty broad RFP. It is the overarching principles are about equity and helping disenfranchised groups and underserved communities. But really, it leaves a lot of flexibility. They have the 3 main categories, which are home ownership and improvement, small business development and entrepreneurship, career growth, and financial resilience. So you can imagine when you get into the bullet points or the explanations of these 3 bullets, there's lots of leeway on how you could request funds. I saw opportunities to have an incentive program to do certain things to perhaps make your home more climate resilient, or I believe there's even a window to make a revolving loan fund from, if you are a 501c3. So it's worth checking out. Again, it's super open-ended. So I get the distinct impression this is an RFP that is asking for you to essentially to give them a pitch and try to draw it to one of these 3 categories. And lastly, like always, here is a link to the login. That will at least get you to log in, and you can click around to find the RFP. I'll email you directly the RFP if you ask for it. In fact, while Belinda's talking, I will drop it right into chat so you can have access to the RFP. And I believe it says to use this passcode when you're initially signing up. Again, this is through the M&T Bank portal system. So I'm sure if you go on their website, you can find lots of information about it. And while Belinda's taking over the main event here, I'll drop in the PDF of the RFP. But it seems pretty open-ended. It's a pretty small group. It's essentially New England and a couple other states. So it may or may not be super competitive. And I believe it's probably one of those 2 or 3 pagers. So it might not be a huge lift for that person in your community that has a 501c3 who manages something, who can bang one of these out super quick. So with that, I will hand this off to Belinda.
Thanks, Paul. And I am going to talk today about the Community Facilities Direct Loan and Grant Program. And we see 3 lovely community facilities right there: a city hall, a hospital, a fire department. This is a program with affordable funding to help develop essential community facilities in rural areas. I'm just going to break that down. The affordable funding, I don't know if that's getting blocked. There we go. Low interest direct loans, grants, or a combination of the 2. Essential community facilities, well, those are any facility that provides essential services to your local community. and isn't a private commercial business. So those are your hospitals, your town halls, fairgrounds, fire and police departments, community kitchens, community gardens, transitional housing, lots and lots of things qualify. And in rural areas for this particular opportunity, rural is defined as less than 20,000 residents. So I always like to note this is not a complete list. You need to investigate, contact people to find out. There are other facilities that would qualify, and you can certainly come up with facilities that maybe aren't on a list that would qualify. It's all about having a discussion and making sure your project works. So we're going to dig into this a little more. Who is eligible? Public bodies, community-based nonprofits, and federally recognized tribes, but they have to be in eligible areas. So again, it has to be an area that is rural, population under 20,000, and this is key, the project service area that you're looking at has to have a median household income that is 90% or less of the statewide non-metropolitan median household income. So two things that are key there. One is the project service area. If we were to look at the communities in Cumberland County, for instance, there is no town that would qualify wholesale with this 90% MHI because the towns in Cumberland County have higher median household incomes. However, there are project areas within towns that would qualify. So you would need to find where in your community might we have this population that is at 90% or less of the statewide MHI. And so you're looking for an area that you can potentially have some economic revitalization for. Now, the non-metropolitan MHI, this brings us to another cool tool for looking at your communities and getting data. This is the Rural Health Information Hub. And this particular map is median household income. They have other maps for health information, social well-being information for rural communities. If I zoom into Maine, we look at the bottom, the median metro household income is 77,000. The median non-metro is 60K. So that's the one you need to be at 90% or less of in your project service area. There have been past awards. I couldn't find a recent list, so these are all pretty old, but Progress Center in Norway, Maine got money to renovate a building to include a community kitchen to provide food services, 200 meals 3 times a week. The Jonesport Volunteer Fire Station, they built a new fire station for 6 vehicles, meeting, training rooms, laundry storage. And then I have some from New Hampshire, Connecticut. You can see there's a, in Ossipee, they just wanted to buy a new walk-in refrigerator, freezer. So it can be smaller equipment kind of stuff that go with the facility, or it can be a huge facility itself. It can also be street improvements around a community facility. So keep that in mind too. So those are some examples. It came from that USDA Community Facilities Report, which is linked at the bottom. So you can see all of the awards. There are a ton in there. So good examples. Key program features. Grant funds are available for 15 to 75% of your project, and that is based on your community size and household income. So the most you can receive is 75% of the total project cost, and that's if you have a community that is 5,000 people or less, and the median income is below 60%. And the median income, remember again, it is that project service area, not your entire community. The interest rates, if you're getting a loan, are pretty good, and they depend on, again, the area that you're financing. For this particular quarter, running from October 1st to December 31st, everything can be obligated at the market rate. So good time to check it out. You get priority points for a smaller community for lower income, particularly if you're below 80% of the state's MHI. Difficulty here, it is a 7. There are a lot of requirements, but this is one of those grants that you start the process by calling the contacts in our state office, and they will help you through the process. So you'll have to come up with a lot of information, but they will walk you through it. And this is a rolling deadline. It's open all year. You can apply at any point in time. And so again, and it is something that kind of happens from year to year. So I would encourage you to get in touch now and start thinking about it. Find out if you've got a service area that qualifies, projects that qualify, and maybe you're not applying in this quarter, but maybe you're getting ready for next quarter. And again, every application, every project you put together prepares you for the next phase. So whether you get this particular funding or not, you wind up putting together some good information that's going to help you move things forward. Here are the links to find out more. We've got the website, the fact sheet, those awards between 2009 and 2011, the USDA state office page link, and then particularly for the GPCOG service areas, that would be Area Office 4 and Area Office 3. Those are your contacts if you want to pursue this. That is what I have today. And I want to make sure that I say we have no Money Mondays next week. We will be off for Veterans Day. I also want to make sure I say vote. If you haven't voted, get out there and vote. Important right to exercise. And I don't have anything else to say, Paul.
The last thing I'll say is Money Mondays has been growing. We're very happy about it. But if we can get 5 more people that view us live, I need to
I'm
do
so
next Money
excited.
Mondays with this entire championship belt on my shoulder, which you can't see because hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is.
You might have to take off the virtual
I'll have to
screen
take off
and
my
put on the belt.
virtual background, but I'm asking, we need 5 more people to watch us live, and I'll have to wear this around my shoulder the entire time.
That's
And
amazing.
by the way, this thing cost them. I had to take out a grant to get this thing. Okay, so I need, that thing isn't cheap.
Oh
So-
my goodness. And I was confused when he told me it was the $1 million man. I kept correcting him and saying $6 million man.
Yeah,
He was
right.
like, not that $1 million man, Belinda. All right.
All right,
Excellent.
everybody. Thank you. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Okay. Bye.